Hello, my name is Iratxe Gurpegui. I'm a competition expert with the competition division at the OECD. We are here today at the OECD IGB Latin American and Caribbean Competition Forum. We are here with Tyler Schipper, assistant professor from the University of St. Thomas, United States, who talked to us about informality in competition. And I have some questions for you, Tyler. I would like to know if you could talk to us about the existence of certain types of industries where competition authorities should be concerned about unfair competition from informal firms.
Yeah, so paradoxically, it seems like, at least in the context of the Indian data that I've looked at, it's sometimes those higher productivity sectors where there's more competition. And when I say competition, I mean that the productivity of informal firms is going to be more similar to the productivity of the formal sector firms. Mm-hmm. So it's not necessarily these low productivity areas where you have lots of informal firms because they're not very competitive there, they're not very productive, and so there's not a lot of competition threat there, versus some of these higher productivity industries, we might actually see more informal firms that are truly competing with their formal sector counterparts.
Mm-hmm. And what can competition authorities do to address informality problem more broadly?
Yeah, so more broadly, I think, so there were some really good points that came up in the conversations in there about the cost effectiveness of going after informal firms. But I think there's a couple really big things that I heard both in there, and broadly, informality is often a problem of development. So a lot of questions about advocacy from competition authorities in terms of, can we lower barriers to entry in important sectors? Another interesting thing that happened in the session today was talking about the ability for informal firms to participate with competition authorities. So possibly having anonymous ways for informal firms to report anti-competitive behavior, which is just another way to get informal firms kind of into the channel of quasi-formality, participating with regulatory authorities while not being, quote, found out, which is part of the reason why they don't typically report illegalities.
And why will reducing informality increase competition in the formal sector?
Yeah. And so this is really tricky because we think about formal and informal firms together, there's lots of firms and that can be more competitive. But at the same time, if our goal is to have more formal sector competition, when there's less informality, it means that there's more potential profits for formal firms. And that means you're going to get more entry from entrepreneurs. If I'm an entrepreneur, it's easier for me to enter the formal sector if there's not these informal competitors on the side. And so hopefully over time, that means when countries develop, you get these well-functioning formal sectors with lots of formal entrepreneurs driving down prices and helping consumers.
Okay, thanks, Tyler.
You're welcome.